Early life and roots. Sergey Mikhailovich Brin was born on August 21, 1973, in Moscow, USSR, into a Jewish family during a time when anti-Semitism was deeply ingrained in Soviet society. His father, Mikhail Brin, was a brilliant mathematician, and his mother, Eugenia Brin, was a research scientist at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. After immigrating to the U.S., Sergey grew up in an intellectually rich environment, where books, science, and discussions about mathematics were common at the dinner table. But life in the Soviet Union was not easy. Jews were often discriminated against and faced limitations in education and employment opportunities. Mikhail Brin had once dreamed of becoming an astrophysicist, but was denied admission to graduate programs because of his Jewish background. This painful reality pushed the Brin family to apply for an exit visa to emigrate from the Soviet Union, a process that was risky and often humiliating. After years of waiting, they were finally granted permission to leave, and when Sergey was 6 years old, the Brin family moved to the United States. Arriving in Maryland, young Sergey was suddenly immersed in a new culture, new language, and new way of life. Despite these challenges, he excelled academically. His parents nurtured his curiosity, giving him math puzzles, science kits, and eventually a computer that would change the trajectory of his life. Education and early interests. Sergey Brin attended Paint Branch Montessori School, where his creativity and curiosity were encouraged. Unlike traditional schools, Montessori education emphasized self-directed learning, something Sergey thrived on. He quickly developed an interest in mathematics and computers. By the time he reached his teenage years, Sergey had already mastered advanced math and programming. His father played a critical role, encouraging him to solve complex problems and think logically. This early exposure to mathematics gave Sergey a strong foundation for the work he would later do at Stanford. Brin earned his Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics and computer science from the University of Maryland, College Park, graduating with honors in 1993. After that, he was accepted into the PhD program in computer science at Stanford University. Stanford was a turning point. It was not just a place of learning, but also a hub for innovation, where some of the world's greatest tech ideas were being born. The meeting with Larry Page. Stanford was also where Sergey Brin met Larry Page, a meeting that would change both their lives and the internet forever. At first, they reportedly clashed. Sergey was outspoken, analytical, and loved debates. Larry was quieter, more reserved, but just as curious. Over time, they realized that their combined talents could create something groundbreaking. Both were fascinated by the chaotic, unorganized nature of the internet in the mid-1990s. Existing search engines were primitive, ranking results mainly by counting how many times a word appeared on a page. Sergey and Larry knew there had to be a better way. Together, they developed a revolutionary algorithm that analyzed how websites were connected to each other, counting backlinks as a way to measure a website's importance. This algorithm became known as PageRank, named after Larry Page, but Sergey was instrumental in its development. Their research project, initially called Backrub, ran on Stanford servers and quickly gained popularity among students and researchers. People noticed that the results were far more relevant than any other search engine at the time. Sergey and Larry realized that they were onto something much bigger than just a school project. From garage to Google. In 1998, Sergey Brin and Larry Page decided to turn their project into a company. But they needed funding. They pitched their idea to several investors, and one of the first believers was Andy Bechtolsheim, co-founder of Sun Microsystems, who wrote them a check for $100,000 even before the company was officially incorporated. With that seed money, Sergey and Larry rented a garage in Menlo Park, California, a humble beginning for what would become one of the most powerful tech companies in history. They officially named their company Google, a play on the mathematical term Google, meaning 10 raised to the power of 100, symbolizing their mission to organize a seemingly infinite amount of information on the web. Sergey's role was crucial in the early days. He focused on developing the technical side, making sure Google's search engine was fast, accurate, and scalable. He was also deeply involved in recruiting the first engineers and shaping the company culture, one that encouraged creativity, innovation, and thinking big. Growth, innovation, and challenges. Google's popularity exploded. What started as a project on Stanford servers soon became the go-to search engine for millions of people around the world. Sergey and Larry faced the challenge of keeping up with the growth, adding more servers, hiring more talent, and scaling their infrastructure. Sergey was passionate about keeping Google simple and user-friendly. He resisted cluttering the homepage with ads or unnecessary features, focusing instead on speed and accuracy. This decision was a game-changer. Users loved the clean, minimalist design, but growth also brought challenges. Competitors emerged, and there were concerns about monetization. Sergey and Larry came up with AdWords, a revolutionary advertising platform that displayed small, relevant ads alongside search results. This not only solved Google's financial problem, but also turned it into one of the most profitable companies in the world. Alphabet and the next frontier. By 2015, Google had grown far beyond a search engine. It now had products like YouTube, Gmail, Google Maps, Chrome, Android, and ambitious projects like self-driving cars, Waymo, and Google Glass. Sergey and Larry decided to restructure the company, creating a parent company called Alphabet Inc. Sergey became president of Alphabet, focusing on futuristic projects and moonshots, ideas that seemed almost impossible but had the potential to transform the world. He supported projects in AI, robotics, life sciences, and even airships for sustainable transportation. Even after stepping down from daily management in 2019, Sergey remained deeply involved in Alphabet's most innovative ventures, continuing to push the boundaries of technology. Alphabet and the next frontier. By 2015, Google had grown far beyond a search engine. It now had products like YouTube, Gmail, Google Maps, Chrome, Android, and ambitious projects like self-driving cars, Waymo, and Google Glass. Sergey and Larry decided to restructure the company, creating a parent company called Alphabet Inc. Sergey became president of Alphabet, focusing on futuristic projects and moonshots, ideas that seemed almost impossible but had the potential to transform the world. He supported projects in AI, robotics, life sciences, and even airships for sustainable transportation. Even after stepping down from daily management in 2019, Sergey remained deeply involved in Alphabet's most innovative ventures, continuing to push the boundaries of technology. Legacy and lessons. Sergey Brin's story is not just about creating a successful company. It's about reshaping the way humanity accesses knowledge. He turned an academic project into a global powerhouse that affects billions of lives every day. His legacy teaches us, curiosity is powerful. Never stop asking questions. Take risks. Sergey and Larry could have stayed in academia, but chose to build something new. Think big. Their mission was not small. It was to organize the world's information. Give back. True success lies in using your resources to improve lives. Today, Sergey Brin remains one of the most influential figures in technology, a pioneer who made the internet what it is today. His journey from a small boy in Moscow to the co-founder of one of the world's most valuable companies is proof that vision, courage, and relentless curiosity can truly change the world. Vision beyond 2025, Sergey Brin's future. As we step into 2025 and beyond, Sergey Brin's vision continues to push the boundaries of technology, science, and humanity itself. Though he has stepped back from daily management at Alphabet, Brin is still deeply engaged in some of the world's most ambitious projects designed not just to improve lives, but to fundamentally reshape the future. Brin's focus is on AI ethics and human-centered technology. With artificial intelligence becoming more powerful, he is advocating for responsible AI development, systems that are safe, transparent, and benefit humanity rather than harm it. Through Alphabet's DeepMind and other initiatives, Brin is encouraging the creation of AI that can solve global problems like climate change, medical research, and even poverty prediction models. Another major area of Brin's interest is sustainable transportation. His airship company, LTA Research, is developing lighter-than-air vehicles that could transport goods and people with zero emissions, potentially transforming global logistics. By 2030, these airships could reduce pollution and make disaster relief efforts faster and more efficient. Brin is also investing in life extension research and health tech, aiming to delay aging and eliminate diseases like Parkinson's. He envisions a future where technology allows humans to live healthier, longer, and more productive lives. Above all, Sergey Brin wants to inspire the next generation of innovators. He believes the coming decades will see breakthroughs in quantum computing, renewable energy, space exploration, and genetic engineering. He hopes young scientists and entrepreneurs will dream as boldly as he and Larry Page did back in the 1990s. If the past is any indication, Brin's work beyond 2025 will not just change technology. It will redefine how humanity lives, learns, and connects. His story reminds us that the future is not something we wait for. It is something we build one idea at a time.